Greetings everybody, my name's Cabbage, and I wanted to make a video in regards to the removal of the Marksman bonus. In this video I'm going to discuss what it was meant to do, but what has actually happened, which is not much. But also, I think I have some ways that we can address this particular problem that people had with why it was removed in the first place. But before we get into that, I just want to quickly say something. I understand that most people don't like the fact that most snipers camp on hills and things like that. I agree, they do not help the team. But for me, this was really a kick in the face, especially the way that I play the game, which as you can see in the gameplay in the background, I'm not bipoded on a hill with an SRR and a 40 times scope and a rangefinder. I'm being a little bit more aggressive within 200 meters, trying to, stop these people getting to the D flag. But anyway, we must get to the task at hand, which is discussing the Marksman bonus, why it was removed, and the effect that DICE hoped it would have. Now, as far as I know, the Marksman bonus was removed to basically encourage snipers to not sit in their spawn and instead run a little bit closer to the objective like I'm doing right now in this clip. But was removing the Marksman bonus the right answer to it? And as someone who used to snipe in the spawn a lot, I can tell you the answer is no. And if you've been playing Battlefield 4 recently, especially post-patch, you'll notice that the snipers camping in the spawn hasn't really changed that much. Still a lot of people doing it. A lot of people doing it. So why do they camp in the spawn? Well, it's pretty simple. A lot of people don't have the skill to snipe in mid-range. Now, I'm not saying I'm better than everybody, I'm not saying I'm the best sniper in the world, but I possess the ability to be relatively aggressive within 200 meters and kill people attacking flags or trying to defend flags. So why do people camp in the spawn? Well, as I said, it's extremely simple. A bolt action is designed for long range combat. That's the whole point of the rifle. Yeah. Now, in order to keep balance, obviously they can't make it as deadly as an assault rifle in close quarters, otherwise it would be ridiculously overpowered. Which is also obviously why they have fire rates of 44 RPM and relatively slow reload times and things like that. Obviously they won't one-shot you in the body at past, I believe it's 12.5 meters, only in the head. So they've done some things to make them a little less useful in close quarters, which is obviously a good thing because you don't want people running around quickscoping because that would just be ridiculous. And this is not Call of Duty, this is Battlefield. I understand that. But people don't snipe in their spawn at long range, 1,000 meters, for the points. They, and obviously I, do it for the satisfaction you get of seeing that bullet fly all the way across the map and hitting somebody and watching their blood splatter all over the ground. That number is just, well, it's just a bonus really. No pun intended, of course. For the majority of the players in this game, bolt actions are just not viable weapons in the mid-range. Some people just cannot use them. Some people just do not like them. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's absolutely perfectly fine. But for the players that were a little bit more aggressive, such as myself, and of course there are many aggressive recons out there, having their point reward taken away from the actions of others was obviously very frustrating for us. So what are ways we can truly stop the base camping sniper menace? Well, it's very controversial and it is an idea I had, although it definitely does defeat the whole purpose of a bolt action rifle. But there are a few ways to perhaps encourage bolt action users to play the objective a little bit more. And I can think of at least two good ways. The first one is by making them a little bit more viable in the mid-range. You're probably thinking, well, hang on a minute, you just said we don't want people quickscoping. I understand that. I'm not talking about quickscoping. I'm talking about maybe raising the fire rate a little bit more. 44 RPM is extremely slow, even for a bolt action. I'm not saying we need 85 RPM, that's just ridiculous spam. But they lowered the bolt action rifles in a patch a few months ago there was some hovering around 60 to 55 RPM, which was good, but they lowered that. I'm guessing due to complaints, I'm not sure. Don't quote me on anything from this. So apart from making them more viable in the close to mid-range areas, maybe by buffing their damage, what is another way they can get rid of the base camping sniper? Well, an idea I had was capping the one-shot headshot limit. Now this is where it gets a bit tricky, because the whole point of a bolt-action rifle is that it one-shots in the head. And if it doesn't one-shot in the head, what's the point in using it? I mean, look at guns such as the FYJS and the Scout Elite. They don't one-shot in the head past 100 meters, so what's the point of using them at long range? What's the point of using them at all? Well, of course, they're a little bit more designed towards the mid-range sort of game, but that's a topic for another video. The idea I had is capping the Marksman bonus at 500 points, but also the damage drop-off at 500 meters. Basically, I propose that they make it so that bolt actions cannot one-shot in the head past 500 meters. Now this sounds completely fucking ridiculous, and I know, even I think it's fucking ridiculous, but would it work? And I think it would. Why would anybody sit in the spawn if all they're ever going to get is hit markers? You wouldn't do that, because you wouldn't kill anybody. You would headshot them, see that hit marker of that headshot pop up, but you get no kill. So, would you want to sit in the spawn and bipod? Probably not. But apart from this, are there any other ways they can fix this? I would suggest maybe removing the 40 times and perhaps the 20 times scopes, as I just don't deem them necessary. And the bipod. I don't think we need that, and that encourages camping, because that's basically what you're doing. Anyway guys, that's me for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day guys. I'll catch you later.